All right, hopefully we are live now. If we are live, if y'all can hear us, go ahead and say something in the comments. Let us know that you can see or hear us. I'm going to go ahead and share. I'm going to look on my page too to see if we are indeed live. Okay, I see us. Okay. Hey everybody, welcome, welcome. As you come in, just go ahead and say hello in the comments. We do apologize. We are having a little bit of technical difficulties. We've been trying probably for the last 5-10 minutes to get to you. But just let us know in the comments if you can see us and if you can hear us. Just drop that in the comments if you will. We'd appreciate it. All right, it looks like we are all ready to go. And I don't see any comments yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and roll on. Hopefully you all can see us, that you can hear us. Again, if you would, let us know in the comments if you can see us, if you can hear us. That will give us an indication that you are here. Welcome to our special podcast. You can see my lovely sisters with me here. We're going to be talking all things the power of sisterhood. Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Lady Sylvia, can see and hear us. So what we're going to ask you to do is as you come on, we're going to ask you to go ahead and share this with somebody. Don't be stingy. Don't keep this to yourself. You have a good sister friend, good girlfriend, and you want to have them join this conversation. We would love. Hey, Tamika, thanks so much for joining. Okay, yes, you can see us. Absolute great, great, great. Just wanted to make sure that everyone could see and hear. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and share, if you will. Let everyone know that we're on and we're talking all things sisterhood. Y'all can see I have my sisters here with me. So we're going to be talking about sisterhood. And so if you're on Facebook, go ahead and share. If you are on YouTube, going to ask you to go ahead and hit the like button. Hey, Iris, thanks so much for joining. Appreciate having you here. So just go ahead and able to talk and to share. And we just jumped off of our inner circle meeting and going to get ready to, and I'm going to move these comments a little bit down so they're not over the faces. Alrighty. There we go. Want to make sure we don't cover y'all up. So we're going to start off with some rapid fire questions. We did this in our inner circle just a little bit ago, and so we're going to do some here as well to see how well we as sisters know one another. Thank you so much for sharing, Iris. I appreciate that. So we're going to see if we know one another as well as we think we do. So our next question is, or our first question is, what is everyone's favorite restaurant? Hey, Mary, thanks so much for joining. And so we're going to do like we did in the inner circle. We're going to start with in birth order. And so what is everybody's favorite restaurant? So Sandy, we're going to start with you. Favorite restaurants.
Oh, okay. Val's favorite restaurant is Red Lobster.
Okay.
Leslie's is Captain D's. Sherry. Ooh. Um, Cheesecake Factory.
Okay, all right. Val, it's your turn. Favorite restaurants?
Okay. Sandy, um, there's a steakhouse down in Winter Haven. I can't think of the name of it, but you know which one it is. It's a steakhouse you go to for your birthday. You like that a lot. Um, Leslie is Papado. Sherry is Papa.
Okay. For Sandy, I think her favorite restaurant is Olive Garden. And for Valerie and Cheryl, I'm gonna say Papados too. Both of them.
Okay. All right, so I'll go now. I would say for Sandy, Olive Garden. I would say Val, for Val and Leslie, probably Papa those. Okay, now that we've done that, each person tell your favorite restaurant. Or Leslie, it might be a close second to another one.
It is. It
I
is.
was I was thinking like I want to renege on the Papa those and say something else, but
Nope,
I'll
nope,
leave it.
nope, nope,
No
no
I'll
reneging.
leave
reneging.
it.
Nope.
I'll leave it. Okay, Sandy, your favorite restaurant?
Well, I don't think I really have a necessary favorite because I like several.
Okay.
Texas Cattleman's in Lakeland is my steakhouse, best steak on the planet. But I also do like Olive Garden and I like Cheesecake Factory.
Okay. Val, your favorite restaurant?
I don't know that I have a favorite one either. I do like Papados a lot. Um, but that's a once a year thing because there's not one here in Florida. Um, I'm just gonna say Papados because there ain't one here in Florida either. So okay.
All right, Leslie, your favorite?
There ain't
Okay,
one here
well,
in Florida either.
just to set the record straight, it ain't Captain D's. Now, I like a good piece of fish, but take my favorite. I would have to say my ultimate favorite is Papados, but a close second to that is Longhorn Steakhouse.
I
I
knew
love
it.
Longhorn.
Oh,
That chicken parmesan, they never miss with that chicken parmesan, y'all.
That chicken parmesan
oh,
is on
okay.
point. Okay, my favorite is Papados. Um, and I'm so hurt that there's not one in Florida. So yeah, Papados would be my favorite. All right, Lady Steven says she's a Longhorn girl too.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so Papados is
Mhm.
it's my favorite. It's my ultimate favorite. All right, so we're gonna do one last one, and then we're gonna jump into our series questions. Our last rapid fire question is either your favorite or dream vacation spot. Favorite, that means you've already been there, or your dream, this would like hit all the things. Um, so we're gonna go the other way like we did in the inner circle. I'll start first on this one since I'm the youngest. I would say for Sandy, favorite Hawaii. Uh, Val, um, I'm gonna say dream vacation, South Africa. Leslie, it's got to be somewhere tropical. Um, oh man, that one's hard. Oh, this is not it, but I'm just gonna say something like Italy. That's not it, but I can't think of it's. I can't think of her dream vacation right now. All right, Leslie.
Okay. Well, for Sherry, if it has not changed, I will say Seychelles is her dream vacation. For Sandy, I'd say Hawaii. For Val, um, ooh, for Val, probably, Lake City.
What? What?
That's a shame.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
You could give us something better than
You
that.
could come up with something better than Lake City.
I am, I'm clueless. Valerie, probably Paris, maybe. Not sure.
Okay. All right, Val.
Okay, for a three-peat, Sandy, Hawaii. For Sherry, um, good evening, ladies. For Sherry, um, ooh, I'm just gonna piggyback and say Seychelles because I don't have a clue. And for Leslie, Taka Charlie. Lord, Lord.
Now,
Yeah.
just wait
Oh, you're wrong
one
for
minute.
that.
Yeah, you are wrong for that.
You going for that, girl.
She put me in Lake City.
Woo! I did get you out of the city at
At
least.
least it was a city she gave you.
Girl.
I I don't know. Honestly, I have no clue for Leslie, so I
All
apologize.
right.
Okay, Sandy.
Okay. For Val, probably um I'm gonna say tropical too, like Virgin Islands.
Okay.
Leslie, Cancun, Mexico. Sherry, I think Paris, France.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Okay. All right. All right. So now we're going to go through and we're going to tell our dream or favorite vacation destinations. So I'll go. My dream vacation is Seychelles.
Okay.
Well, my my dream or a place I would love to go is back to Africa. There's several places in Africa that I would love to go to, but somewhere in Africa.
All righty. Val.
For me, it is South Africa or Dubai.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And Sandy.
Well, mine was Hawaii, and I did go to Hawaii. So, Paris, France.
All right. Patty.
Yep.
Patty. Awesome.
Oh,
Awesome. Well, I learned something here, so I'll keep that on my Rolodex for when the Lord sends in my money. I can send y'all where you want to go. All right, so I wanted to start our conversation off talking about the definition of sisterhood, and so I'm going to ask each sister to and we'll start in birth order again to give us what you think are or is your definition of sisterhood. What does that look like? What is sisterhood?
Okay. I would say that sisterhood to me would be having a friend for life whose love never wavers. And no matter what sisters go through, whatever happens between sisters, whether they get angry or fall out with one another, it doesn't last. They always come back together. They always forgive, let bygones be bygones, and move forward in love.
Awesome. I love that. I love that. All right, Val.
Sisterhood is, and I cheated, so I did say that earlier. So I'm just going to let the listening audience know that I did look up the definition for sisterhood, and it is sisters who have a relationship or between women who are like minded.
Awesome. Awesome. Leslie, definition of sisterhood.
Okay, quickly, I agree with both of those. Being like-minded, whether you're siblings or, like she said, a group of women being like-minded, and trusted. There's got to be a level of trust and, like Sandy said, love and forgiveness beyond faults. Fall out, fall in is something that there's a strong bond, a lasting bond, but a bond that also allows um, you to be yourself when you're strong and when you're not maybe so strong, but somebody that will support you, tell you you're right, tell you you're wrong, tell you that was good, tell you
Mhm.
that was bad, try to give you good advice, um, and somebody that pushes you and loves to see you succeed and win in life, genuinely cares about your life.
Yes, I love that
Mhm.
too. And just quickly, my definition of sisterhood is um, a bond, a loving bond. For me, it was they were like built-in friends for me. We didn't start out as friends, but as we grew older, we became best of friends. And so
Mhm.
it our sisterhood developed into friendship, which gave us an even deeper bond. And I see Lady Sylvia says a strong, unbreakable bond. I love that. I love that. And those of you that are listening to us, whether you're in the inner circle here on Zoom or whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, drop in the comments your definition of sisterhood. We want to hear from you as well. How do you define sisterhood? So go ahead and let us know that. I'm going to jump to question number 2, and then I'm going to kind of do something a little different than what we did in a circle. But I do want to do question number 2 on early influences. It says, can each of you reflect on how your parents nurtured your relationship as sisters? How did our parents nurture our relationship as sisters?
Well, I'll go again first. Like I said, one thing that I caught from my mother really, really early, like I was sharing earlier. Oh boy, we used to get into it. We used to scrap it out. We used to squabble and just fuss, 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 fuss all the time. And when I say all the time, I mean all the time.
Yep.
So one day we were going at it about something. I don't even remember what it was. At my mom, she said, "You all are going to have to learn how to agree to disagree." And that is something I took a hold of at a young age. And that has helped me in life beyond just my sisters, but in any and every relationship that has stuck with me and something that I've tried to live out. Um, when you don't agree, when you don't see eye to eye, or when you have different ideas, or you want to go in different directions, you have to learn how to agree to disagree without being in strife or being, in anger with other people or another person or your sisters or your spouse or your, coworkers or whatever. Allow the difference to exist, but not change, I guess I'll say, the temperature of the relationship that you have with those people. That's something that I try to, from work relationships to friendships, sisters, family members. That's something you got to allow that latitude for differences to occur without affecting your relationship in a negative way.
That's true.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Anybody else want to chime in?
Yeah, and to piggyback off of what Leslie has already said, not only did she tell us to agree to disagree, but she also, when we were very young, would make us work it out ourselves. Um, I probably was a tattler, however you want to say it, and so
Yes.
um, she would just say, you know what, that y'all work it out, because we were extremely, and that is putting it lightly. I mean, truthfully, we argued a lot. We were really, really catty, and that I remember. But she would make us work it out ourselves, and I think that helped us to be problem solvers as well. And so I appreciate that about her. And your question was specifically to our parents, but in this particular situation, I don't think we can just leave it at our parents, because I can also say that Mama Watts was very instrumental as well. And I think the bond that the four of us have together, because we did spend a lot of time with her as well as our
Grandmother.
grandmother, and she
Mhm.
was really, really adamant as well that we get along. And I can remember her saying, you will always have your sisters. They will always be there for you no matter what. And you should never treat anybody outside better than you treat your sisters. So that really, really stuck with me, that I needed to cling to my sisters and to respect them and to love them and treat them as people and not just my sisters. So that was
Mhm.
something that Mama Watts also told us, and I really took that to heart.
I love it. I love it. Sandy, you want to add anything?
Absolutely. And for the record, I wasn't catty. Okay.
Oh, it's
That
just
was
the rest
y'all.
of us.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yes, I would agree that we had it modeled before us, through our parents and our grandparents, of how to, coexist together in love. Um, and I, told this before, but when we would get mad with one another, Mama would make us kiss and make up. We had to hug each other and we had to kiss each other and make up. Now, what I was saying before was, on the outside, sometimes we did that just to please Mama. Okay, we hugging and we kiss her, but I'm still mad on the inside. But after we got over that, we'd go back to playing outside and forgetting what whatever the squabble was. Can't even remember what it was, but just continue to just move forward, forget it, and move on. So I really can appreciate that today, because it has brought us to where we are now. So
Yeah, and I'll just I guess piggyback on what you all have said too, and I believe Val mentioned it earlier. My mom was really big on us not holding grudges. That after an argument was done, you do not hold grudges. You can't be mad for days and weeks about something. When the
right.
argument was done, that was it. And that served me so well, not just in my relationship with my sisters, but in life. I know how to let it go. I know how to say my piece, to say how I feel about something. I know how to, kind of like Leslie said earlier, agree to disagree without holding bitterness and anger in my heart. Like I just, we will never till Jesus comes agree about that. But it doesn't affect how I treat you. I'm still going to be loving to you. I'm still going to be kind to you.
Right.
I don't agree with you. I don't. And so it taught me that I could disagree with someone, that I could hold a totally different position than someone else and still love them and still be kind to them. And so that has served me so well to be able to love people that I don't agree with at all. So that not holding grudges, because like Val said earlier, we'll be mad and fussing and fighting and be like, "Child, what we eating? Y'all hungry?" And it'll just be like, it'll be gone. And so I do appreciate our parents for being able to instill that into us and look at the fruit of the relationship that we have now. I am thankful to God for that. And so I want to
Amen.
go to traits, individual traits. So, what unique trait do you think each sister brings that strengthens your bond? So, what's a trait that each of us as siblings has that you think strengthens our bond?
I'll start.
Okay.
Okay. So for me, Sandy is very understanding. Um, she is always willing to hear you out, to listen. And I really appreciate that about her because I can go to her and I can just be venting to her, and she's going to listen and she's going to be understanding. Even if she does not agree with me, she will always understand, and she will like give like, well, how about we, how about, have you ever thought about this, or have you ever thought about that? And she's not judgmental, and I appreciate that. So that's Sandy. She's understanding. And Leslie is the person that reasons. She's gonna always make A connect to B to C to D to E to F, and she's really, she's a connector. She's gonna think that thing through. And she also has genuine care
Mm-hmm.
about you and what's going on with you. I remember when I got sick and I really couldn't do what I needed to do. And she was very, very attentive. Hey, do you need this? What do you need? And so that's Leslie. And then Sherry, she is the brains. She has the discipline. She has that stick to itiveness. If she decides she is going to do something, she is going to do it. And I need to learn from her because she will be working on something and it cannot work, and she will stay there until she figures it out. And I really admire that about her. She's the brains and the disciplined one.
That is so spot on. Absolutely. For Val, I had Val is the tell it like it is of all of us. I mean, no matter what it is, no, this is such and such and such, and a lot of the time she's like, okay, yeah, that's right, that is absolutely true. You might not like the way she tell you sometimes, but you know her heart.
Mhm.
You're like,
I'm
well, tell
working
me how
on
you
it.
really feel.
You might walk away limping.
Right. But you know her heart. So
Yeah.
you just receive it and just like, okay, well, thank you. And Leslie is caring. Now, mind you, all of us have some of these characteristics, but Leslie
Yeah.
is caring, and she's gonna always see what other people need.
Hmm.
What do you need? And sometimes she does that above her own needs. Well, most of the time.
Yeah,
And
most of the time.
I've noticed that.
Yeah.
I've never said anything to her, but I'm Leslie. What do you want? What do you need? She's always wanting everybody to get what they need. And Sherry is, if you want to brainstorm about something, Sherry, she will help you brainstorm. She will come up with ideas that you hadn't thought of before. And she's a go getter. She really is. She is, and I sometimes I think, well, Sherry, don't you want to just try something different? But no, she is going to make it work. If there's a way for it to work, she's going to make it work.
Mhm.
All right, Leslie.
Okay. Well, this is it's a little hard for me because there's several characteristics that I guess each of you have. But for Sherry, I'll start with her. It is definitely discipline. She is one of the most disciplined people I know. If a task is put before her or she takes up a project, you can believe the end product is going to be one of excellence. She's going to cross every T. She's going to dot every I. She's going to make sure whatever she puts forth is representative of excellence. She's not going to do nothing half-heartedly. She ain't going to give it to you pieced together. She's going to research it and research it and research it and research it and research it. Woo! She's going to dig deep for
Yep,
you.
that's
And
true.
I admire the discipline. I've never seen her take on anything, whether it's something she's doing personally or something she's doing for someone else, for the church. Um, she's going to put in the time to make it right, which I love that because, like I said, some of us have some of that, but it inspires us and keeps us on our toes to make sure we are doing things right as well. Now for Valerie, Valerie is what we call her Peterette.
Oh, we're gonna
She
retire that name.
she
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 said we
is
gonna
ready.
retire that name.
No, we're not retiring that name. Valerie is ready at the drop of a hat. If you say go, she gonna say zoom. She's a go getter. She's very creative. She has great
Yes.
ideas.
Hmm.
She gonna start it. If you slow, she gonna tell you you slow. What are y'all doing? Come on. Sometimes we have to pump your brakes, chick. Pump your brakes. But she is a go getter.
Hmm.
And for Sandy, I'll have to probably kind of say the same thing. Sandy, she's disciplined. She's a go getter. She's a good listener. She's a good listener. She's caring. She's always been a great example of what a big sister should be. Um, she spends time with each of us according to what we need. She gives us what we need. Um, and I love how she loves her family too.
Hmm.
But each of us have a little bit of all of that.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Okay. I will say for Sandy, Sandy is like a combination of just about all of that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Sandy is tenacious too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she when she has her mindset on something too, she may not go at it like the way I go at it, but she'll be strategic. She's gonna try 7 different ways to do one thing. Like if one thing stops her, she's like, let me think about this, so I'll go at it this way. Okay, that didn't work, so I'll go at it this way. Okay, let me say it like this. It'll be the same question, but it'll be in a little bit different way. So she's really, really persistent and she's tenacious and she has a really big heart. She has a really, really
Mm-hmm.
big heart, and that's what I love about her. Her big heart. Val is merciful.
She
Um,
is.
she is so very merciful. She will give you, like, I'm gonna give you 2 tries. She gonna give you 200.
Oh my God.
She has the gift of mercy. Um, she's very gifted. She's so very creative. some of the stuff
Mhm.
that comes to her mind, I'm thinking like I would have never thought about that. Whether it's fashion, whether it's interior design, whether it is knowing how to transform rooms. She is just so very creative, so very creative, and I can't wait to see what God is going to do with her creativity when He really, really launches her into that. And kind of piggybacking off what Val said about Leslie. Leslie is the voice of reason. She is that cool, calm diplomat. Like when
Yep.
everybody else is like, ah! She's like, well, did you think about this? Well, let's kind of back up. She's calm down, everybody. Just calm down. She reminds me of our dad in that respect. Just very cool, just very calm, just very collected. She's the person that can see everybody's side. Like if we're having a dispute or a disagreement, she sees everybody's side. Like where the person may only see their side, she can see it from everybody's viewpoint and from everybody's angle, and bring out things that maybe I didn't see. Okay, that's how Val felt about that, or that's how Sandy felt about that. Oh, okay, I didn't take that into account. So she's good at diffusing situations. She's where calmer heads prevail because she's thinking about how everybody is going to feel. How she wants to make sure everybody is okay. So that's what I appreciate about Leslie: her easy, calm demeanor and her ability to de-escalate almost any situation.
Mhm.
Almost any situation. Oh, I
Yep.
love that. That was so encouraging. All right, and I see that we're almost at the end of our time, but I want to just drop this last question, which was advice to your younger self. It says, looking back, what advice would you give to your younger selves about building and maintaining a strong sisterly relationship? What advice would you give to your younger self? And I'll start this one. I would say, watch your mouth. Be careful how you handle the people that are close to you and that means something to you. Be careful how you handle them. Be careful how you speak to them, um, and to treasure those relationships. Because I know, for me, like we were talking about how catty we were growing up. We were four women in the house and we were fighting and fussing a lot of the time. And around about our, I guess for me, mid to late teens is when our bond started to, deepen and to grow. And especially when I went off to college, I think is when God really, really solidified our bond as sisters. And so I would say, be careful what you say and treasure your sisters, treasure, and not just your birth sisters, but the women that God has placed in your life. Treasure those relationships. Don't take them for granted. Make sure that you let them know that you love them and that you're there for them and that you care. Um, don't wait till somebody's sick. Don't wait till somebody's gone. Make sure that the people that are in your life know that they mean something to you.
Right. Yep. Yep.
Anybody
I
else?
second that. I would say hold tight to and treasure your relationship with your sisters. Your sisters will love you, support you no matter what. And I like to say love conquers all. Love conquers disagreements, setbacks, brokenness, and don't let the small things bother you. When you accentuate the small things, it makes them look bigger. Not that they necessarily are bigger, but they are made to look bigger and they bother you. And I would also and, um, I would have learned at an earlier age to recognize the lies of the enemy. It is his job to create division and strife and
Mm-hmm.
resentment, in your sisters or any relationship, in any family. To
Right.
recognize that early and to take time to understand each other's perspectives. And like we were talking about, it's okay to disagree and not reject, you know, a person just because you don't agree with them. It's okay, but don't let that tear you apart. But just to value each other's differences, each other's opinions for what they are. That's what they are, opinions. But recognize who we are in Christ, and always reject the lies of the enemy.
I'll say, I'll
Go ahead.
say, what I would tell my younger self is to give people grace and without being judgmental,
Mm-hmm.
to accept who you are, to accept who God made you. He made you you, not to emulate other people, but to be who you genuinely are. And that's what I would tell my younger self because a lot of times when I was younger, I wanted to be y'all. And I neglected to nurture and grow who I was. And so that's what I would tell my younger self.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Leslie?
that's good.
Okay, well, what I think maybe just in the moment thinking, would be to value and treasure the relationship that we have as sisters, even though people a lot of time have questioned our relationship and tried to make it look like it was strange and unnatural to be close to your sister, to genuinely have sisters as friends. Not to really not hold on to that. No, I didn't, but I would have shut it down as they were questioning it or challenging it for whatever reason. But to really value and to treasure the relationship you have with your natural sisters, your sisters maybe in your church or on your job or just your family, to treasure those bonds and those relationships because God has given them to you and allowed you to have them for a reason. And they can be a source of strength and fortitude for you if you allow them to be.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. And I see we have one question from one of our Inner Circle members. She says, this question is for Sandy. It says, how do you maintain a close relationship with your sisters while living away from them? Do you ever feel left out because they are always able to be with each other?
Yes. Yeah. In fact, when we first got married, when I first got married, and moved to where I am now, it was very hard. And actually, my husband had to bring me home once a month for the first year that we were married. And when it was time to go back home, we would be crying like, and he used to want. He say, "I wondered if you really wanted to be with me." I was like, "Of course I did," but we was just so close, and it was hard to separate. But it takes work. We have to be intentional. And for a while, we were planning trips together, to spend time together. We went to, I don't know, all the places we went to, Atlanta, I forget all the places we went to, but we got to get back to that though. But you
Yes.
have to be intentional about, maintaining that connection. And when they were all three out in Dallas living, I was real jealous. I was like, oh, okay. It was doing all these things and, you know, going here, going there, you know. But I wouldn't say I was jealous, but I did, feel a little some type of way that I couldn't, do all those things too, with all of us together. Not that I wasn't doing anything, but all of us together. So, but yeah, it's good. It's good.
Absolutely. And like you said, we have to be intentional um, to do those things because we did used to, take trips. We used to do family trips. We used to, be very
Yeah,
intentional. We kind of slacked off a little bit here.
yeah,
So,
Panorama.
yeah. So we'll have to get back to, our intentional trips. We are due for a sisters getaway, just the four of
Yes,
yes,
we
us
are.
going somewhere, just
yep,
hanging out. So we'll have to plan that. But yeah, being intentional. Um,
Yeah.
I think that would be good. And before we jump off, I didn't see any questions on Facebook, so I'm going to assume that there were no questions. I want to make sure that I give y'all like 2 seconds if y'all had a question that you wanted to ask
While you're
us.
giving them their 2 seconds,
Yes.
can I just say this?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Leslie had mentioned that we get questioned all the time about how we can be so close and be sisters. Um, I just want to say that it is something. It is a decision that you make. And again, as we have all said, it was a decision that we made years ago. That this is my sister. Um, I don't believe that anybody's going to have my back any more than my sister. But I want to admonish those that are watching that may not necessarily have a blood sister, but you have your sister circle. If that circle is God ordained, if that circle is something that you decided that these people are going to be in my life and these are who I'm calling sisters, then just bring them in, love them, give them all of you without compartmentalizing unless the Lord tells you that way. um, because if they are your sisters, they're going to have your back no matter what, and you don't always have to agree with them. That is not what we're called to do, because we're individuals, we think differently, so you're not going to always think like they think. But that is somebody that you love. And even if you don't agree, love them and be there for them regardless, no matter what. And that's what my sisters are to me. I have friends that are very close to me, and I feel the same way about them. But the three that God put under the covering of my parents with me,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we're supposed to be an example to other sisters out there, because I've heard somebody say, I couldn't live with my sisters. I don't know how y'all live with each other. We don't
Well,
agree all the time. We disagree like everybody else do. But I love them and we make it work.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I'd like to touch something that you said, because we are so close. Sometimes people think that we're monolithic, like that we all think alike, that we all have the same ideas, the same opinions. I was like, okay, we different people.
Mm-hmm. That's
We
right.
are siblings. We love each other, but we each have a brain. So that means we each have our own individual thoughts and
Yes.
ideas about things, and we give each other space to have our own thoughts and ideas about things. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
Sandy to have to think like me, or Leslie or Val to have to think like me, because their difference adds to me. Their different thoughts give me different perspectives and allow me to see life and the world a different way. So even though we are so close, we are so different in so many ways. And so we're not a monolith. We just happen to coexist with, coexist with each other very well.
Right.
And that came from being intentional about it. So like Val says,
Mm-hmm.
love on your sisters, love on your friends. Y'all check on each other. You know, if it's just like a text message, hey, I don't want nothing. Just thought about you. How you doing?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You just never know how that one little text or how that one little phone call or that one little email may help lift that person that day.
Mm-hmm.
So before we jump off, I didn't see anybody in on Facebook drop any questions in there. So do y'all have any parting words before we leave on tonight? I've said mine. Okay. All right. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us on tonight. We really, really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Yes.
Um,
Thank you all.
oh, I love that. Lady Sylvia says, what did she say? She said, I love it. I'm going to call all eight of mine. Yay!
Oh,
That's a
Yeah.
great sisterhood.
awesome.
That is wonderful, and I am sure that all eight of them are going to be so happy to hear from you, because it is so connection and community is so important and it is so vital.
Yes.
And like Sandy said earlier, making sure that we cut the enemy off at every pass when he's trying to divide us, when he's trying to speak lies into a God ordained bond. So make sure that whatever the enemy is trying to do to separate or whatever, if you're listening on Facebook, say, no, devil, this is my sister. I don't have to agree with her on everything, but I'm going to love her. I'm going to be there for her. That's my sister. So,
Yes,
and
it
even
is.
if it's not your blood sister, that's my sister. I'm not going to let anybody talk bad about her. I wish you would. I'm not going to let you run them down. Not to me. You can't say nothing to me about my sister. No, you can't. Don't even try it. No, you can't. I will not allow it. And so make
Mm-hmm.
sure that you protect and guard those relationships as well, because that's going to be important. Again, y'all, thank y'all so much for joining us on tonight. I love you all with the love of the Lord, and we will see you on next week. We'll be back in our Bible study. Have a great evening, and if you got a sister, text her, call her. A sister friend, text her, call her, and just tell her that you were thinking of her and that you love her. I love you all with the love of the Lord, and we'll see you all soon.
Bye. Good
All
night.
right.
Good night.
Mhm.
Reaching out with something really special. Together, we've built a community where we share, learn, and grow in faith. As we look to the future, I have a heartfelt request to make. I have a desire to upgrade my podcast studio and have set an initial goal to raise $2,500 to get started. This will go towards a better camera, improved sound equipment, and a new, more powerful computer to handle all that I do. These upgrades will enhance the quality of our episodes, allowing me to bring you even more enriching and inspiring content. If my podcast has touched your heart and you're in a position to contribute, I invite you to join this exciting journey. No contribution is too small. Whether it's the cost of a coffee or more, every bit will help me achieve this goal and continue to serve our wonderful community. Thank you for considering this, for your ongoing support, and for being such an important part of our podcast family. You are cherished, you are heard, and you are an essential part of this beautiful journey we're on. God bless you all.